Good blessed Throwback Thursday, June the 24th, 2021. The time being about 4:30 p.m. I'd like to greet all human beings all around the world with a universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter if you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you proclaim toughness to the proclaim weakness person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemy. It doesn't matter if you are light-skinned or dark-skinned. It doesn't even matter what your nationality is. I greet all you all with that same universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. What I want to talk about now is, are you praying for me and my family due to my son Brian Lamont John's mysterious death in Carbondale, Illinois on March the 19th, 2021 in the 400 block of Oakland Street in the Gaslight Apartments on the 3rd floor in the hallway. Are you praying for us or are you praying on us? When I say praying for us, I mean P-R-A-Y-I-N-G. And I'm wondering, are you praying on us? P-R-E-Y-I-N-G. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. You know, first I want you to take a look at this here because, you know, this one lady, she just came to the post office and I guess she seen me hang this up and went in and got a mail and sitting in her car. I guess she think I'm going to hang somebody out here or hang myself. But I want y'all to look at this again now. This is the type of material that they claim in Carbondale, Illinois, that my son hung himself. You see what I'm saying? And I want you to take a look at it again. You know, with the nut going straight up, and this part of the belt is in the inside where the landing is at. He was on the 3rd floor, and this part here would go all the way down where his feet would hang because he's on the 3rd floor. It would hang down here to the 2nd floor where the people on the 2nd floor can see, which people on the 2nd floor seen his feet. But you know, to have this belt on this side and his body is out here. Now look, this was tight. His neck was tight because when he was hanging, it didn't move neither way. It was longer than, a little longer than this here, but it went out. Believe me, remember, it went out like this, and then as it was going down, I seen the pictures, y'all. They can't change that. It was going down like this, and then it came out. When it came out, this part was around his neck. So if this part was around his neck and it started coming down here, y'all, remember I told you his head would have had to come out through the other side, or, now he had his hands balled up, or he would have to been standing up on this railing. You remember when they found him, he had money balled up in his hand. This hand was balled up where the corner had to pry it open some to take the money out. Now, trying to tie this here, and you got a drop, a whole flow drop. How's you gonna tie this here? You got it standing up like this, then it's going down on this side now. And then it's coming out here, and you got to be able to find a way to put this around your neck. If you done put this around your neck already, then let's look at something here. Let me see if I can get this here loose. If we done put this around our neck already, the lady over there looking, she probably gonna call the police, but she can call them. If I done put this around my neck already, then that means that I'm gonna have to tie this. But if I tied this, look, this still is coming down here. It ain't coming from over here. So the belt had to be tied up. You see what I'm saying? The belt had to be tied up over here somewhere. It was in, I think, 2 knots where the belt was coming down here. You see what I'm saying? He couldn't be over here and then climb over here and jump, because of the direction of the belt shows if he did it himself, which is highly impossible, he would have had to be over here. But now you remember when they found him dead, this hand was balled up with money in it. But let me show you something else. Now you remember this drop is not where I'm at. It would still be dropping down. Now, he was hanging to about right here where his nose was up to the thing. And this arm, hand balled up. Now look, this arm is all the way in here to the muscle. You see what I'm saying? It was in to the muscle like this. This hand was like this. Now take a look at this. Now, if he hanging, I'm talking about hanging where he ain't touching nothing but this, how could you perfectly hang yourself? Rigor mortis ain't gonna sit in till about an hour. Rigor mortis ain't gonna sit in soon when he jump down and hang himself. The pathologist gonna say, well, maybe he was trying to grab hold to the bike or something else, and he thought twice about committing suicide. If that was the case, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. His hand wouldn't be closed up with money in it, trying to grab. How can he grab hold to something with his hand balled up like this here? One of the hands, you remember I said it was like this, and the other arm was all the way in here, and he was hanging down, y'all, hanging all the way down. And you remember the pressure on his neck. The person that hung themselves, this is what's gonna happen. Them hands gonna come up out of there and they're gonna fall down and they're gonna open up. They ain't gonna be able to explain that. Now, the pathologist that they got, the so-called sergeant that's doing the investigation that assigned himself to the case on the same day the lady did the pathologist did the autopsy, or allegedly did the autopsy, the same day, the day after, I made a YouTube video of the complex where he allegedly hung himself. This detective decided to assign himself to it. You see what I'm saying? When he was showing me the pictures, he couldn't see what I seen, but once they release them pictures, y'all gonna be able to see it that ain't biased. You gonna see the main thing to look for is the direction of this belt. The knot is straight up in 2 knots, and the belt direction starts over here, going down and then come out here. You see what I'm saying? Come out here. He couldn't do it from neither side to make it come out like this here. You see what I'm saying? And the man told me, well, I got 10 years experience, and I went to school for that. I don't care how many years experience. Common sense will tell us this here. But then, how do you perfectly be hung like this and your feet is hanging down, all that pressure is down there, then when you choke and then you go unconscious, your hand ain't gonna stay like this here. How is it staying like this here and you went unconscious? Rigor mortis set in after about an hour, I believe. You see what I'm saying? And most times rigor mortis set in, it's set in the face. But what I'm trying to show y'all is, those of you all that been contacting me, one female contacted me, and she said, visa messenger, and she told me that a news outlet in Carbondale, Illinois, I believe it is WISL or WSIL 3, friend of hers told her to contact me and get my information to give to her because her friend that works for these people wanted to do a story on my son. You see what I'm saying? And I told her, okay, but I never got back with her. But I contact somebody that I trust. You see what I'm saying? It's whites and blacks in Carbondale that I trust. A white individual I contact and ask them what they think, because I said if this person really wanted to get my information and do the story on my son, they would have contacted me just like the so-called friend did. But they gave me the phone number to this particular person that works for that particular television station. And I called and left a message over a week ago and explained to him, your friend said that you wanted to do a story on my son and you wanted my permission. I said, if that's so, you can call me back. Gave him my number. You see what I'm saying? And let me know that you said this, and I would gladly have you to do this story, because I want as much attention on it as possible so the police in Carbondale won't sweep this up under the rug. But he ain't never got back with me. You see what I'm saying? So is this female, she told me she praying for me and my family. Then she asked about my personal information. But are you praying, P-R-A-Y-I-N-G, for me and my family? Or are you praying on us, P-R-E-Y-I-N-G? Are you praying on us? You see what I'm saying? If you praying on us, you praying on the wrong family. I may look like this here. I may look like Willie Lump Lump to you. I may look like I was born just yesterday. I may look like I'm gullible. I may look like I'm weak, but I'm meek. You see what I'm saying? And God give me a sense of discernment. Are you praying for us, or are you praying on us, or trying to pray on us? And all the other people that has the necessary resources, I can see that y'all don't help individuals that may be on the, what you call a poor level. Individuals that you look at as being an individual that been to prison, an individual that is homeless. You see what I'm saying? An individual on drugs. You know, I see some of you individuals that go on these other cases, but these other cases, these people got money. But we don't have the money for another pathologist. You see what I'm saying? But God gonna lead us to the right investigators once they release that paperwork. Let me show you, you know, when you have investigations, you have to have crime scene investigators. How is a beat sergeant who claimed he was the first one on the scene finding my son's body, then the sergeant that's doing the investigation, I don't know what type of experience they have, but he showed the sergeant that's doing the investigation, when he was showing me my son's body hung up on there. You know, I seen blood on his gym shoes. I don't know where that came from. He wasn't bleeding nowhere else besides a straight cut on his arm, I mean on his back of his hand. But he showed me the same sergeant that was standing up in the background when they took a picture of my son hanging. The same beat sergeant, he showed me a picture of him. We'll say he's standing right here, and then it was a footprint. Y'all, I want y'all to get this footprint real close. You see, it was a footprint like this, and he showed me the footprint, showed me the beat sergeant. Is the beat sergeant, is he CSI? Is he forensic science? You see what I'm saying? Is he an evidence technician? But he showed me the sergeants. He said, look, Sergeant such and such found that footprint. You see what I'm saying? Then he showed me the back of my son's shoes. He said, you see the dirt on it? Whether my son's shoe had dirt on it, wax on it, or anything else. Even if that was my son's gym shoe, you see what I'm saying? Even if it was my son's gym shoe, how did I know that the sergeant didn't have it on his feet and stepped in that? How did the sergeant just happen to find that? But this same sergeant on March the 11th, 2021, at the Good Samaritan shelter, my son was having crisis, and the females that told me about it and told me that the police came, and guess who it was? That same beat sergeant. He do multiple things. He forensic scientist. He identifying footprints. You see what I'm saying? Some Some Illinois State Police or any other state police can't even identify footprints. You see what I'm saying? But this sergeant and another police officer came to the Good Samaritan house on March 11, 2021, when my son was having crisis. And the ladies there said my son didn't want to go with this sergeant of this other police. He appeared to be afraid of them. You see what I'm saying? And they told him, let them call the paramedics, the ambulance. And when the ambulance came, my son freely went with him. What that tell you? This beat sergeant is somewhere every place. You see, at first the beat sergeant, I thought he was on a page that, you know, he really is trying to help, but he's somewhere everywhere. You see what I'm saying? You can't be a beat sergeant in a forensic scientist. You see what I'm saying? But this is what I want y'all to see. I don't care what y'all say in Carbondale. Me and my 3 daughters and my grandchildren, we gon' fight for justice until the day I die. Justice for Brian Lamont Johnson. You see what I'm saying? My son's life would not go in vain. Once they get through with their so-called investigation, the investigation isn't going in one direction, and that's suicide. Now, another thing, on the 10th of, I believe it was the 10th of June this year, a white female told me she found my son's wallet 4 blocks away, in an area of 910 Sycamore Street in Carbondale, Illinois. His 2 t-shirts found on the 3rd floor in the 400 block of Sycamore. His so-called, whether we know if it's his mask or not, his mask on the 2nd floor. I know some of y'all heard it again. If you're tired of hearing, don't listen to it. You see what I'm saying? Those of y'all that say you're tired of listening, I'm not going to stop talking about it, because that was my son. I don't care if he had been in the prison before. I don't care if he was in the shelter. I don't care if he was black. I don't care whether he was on drugs or not. He didn't deserve for somebody else to take his life. And all these snitches that the police got out here that let them get away, I know that it happens because they do it right here in Charleston, Missouri. They let snitches attack me on my own home front, physically attack me here in Charleston, Missouri. You see what I'm saying? But guess what? God took care of it. These same individuals that let them attack me, the NAACP, these black preachers and white preachers, march with these guys saying that even the chief of police and the sheriff here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, they marched with these individuals that was attacking me because I was setting out people that was selling poison to our community, setting out people that called themselves leaders, black leaders that just misusing the black community, and setting out crooked police officers and sheriffs and chiefs. But let me tell you what happened to these individuals. God took care of it. He told me to do what I got to do, set them out. God took care of it. The one individual that assaulted me, the feds got him for putting contract murders out on 6 people, and then tied to murders all the way from Naperville, Illinois to Caperado, Missouri. And his buddy, who was doing all this crime and selling drugs with him, snitched on all these people. Now the feds is hiding him. But where's all them people that was marching with him? You see what I'm saying? The chief of police, the sheriff, black and white preachers, these organizations, where are they at now? They laughed at me when I was assaulted, but he who get the last laugh. Let me tell you what Shakespeare said. To be or not to be, that is the question. Are you praying, P-R-A-Y-I-N-G, for me and my family? Or are you trying to prey on us? P-R-E-Y-I-N-G. To be or not to be, that is the question. Tell me what you doing. I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm going to seek knowledge and justice for my son from the cradle to the grave. You see what I'm saying? I don't need you preachers down here in Charleston, Missouri, because I know y'all are preachers just by name. Let me tell you who I am. First, God told me to come down here, and I did my 25 years down here to tell Satan, to tell Pharaoh to let his people go. And you know what he ordained me to be? I'm an ambassador of Jesus Christ, sent anywhere on the face of this earth to tell people Satan is a lie and the truth is not in them, and to expose this wickedness. My son, they commit suicide. Get that thing. Now that's the chief of police right there. Ain't it something how, keep it on it. Ain't it something how when I'm around here doing so, that's the chief of police that don't do nothing here. He ride with criminals. And it making me believe down there in Carbondale, Illinois, the police department is the same. Ain't it coincident every time I'm doing something? See, I told you that lady that was looking at me. You see what I'm saying? It's racism down here. When they see me down here, the chief come. He ain't gonna do nothing. When shots fired, the chief running. He ain't coming until the state police come in. The sheriff, he ain't coming. And soon, and very soon, I'm gonna show y'all how tough some of the sheriff deputies is and some of their captains are when one of their white deputies was left alone in Wyatt, Missouri, when they was going to apprehend a white drug dealer who got to shooting at them, and one of their men got shot, and you get to see the video where they was running and left him there. But the one that got shot, he became the hero while he was shot. He shot the individual that shot him, then apprehend him. Then these cowards come, but they want to try to jump on people like me or send some of these ignorant black folks who don't know nothing about Juneteenth. They'll be celebrating July the 14th. Not caring in 1776, they were celebrating the 4th of July, the first harvest that black folks did for nothing as slaves. But you better check out Gaverton's taxes. What happened there on June the 19th? Are you praying for me and my family, or are you trying to pray on me? We seen the chief of police, but I'm gonna say this here: peace be still.